Hi mga ka-numbers! How are y'all? Welcome back to Wang RB channel. Today, let's focus on how to use the regular and irregular verbs in the past, present, and future tenses. It's more on summarizing the types and the tenses of the verb. So, let's start. Before we go along, as always, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wang RB channel. And if you would like notifications and updates on all of my videos, please click the all notification bell. You can also follow me on Facebook fan page, Teacher Wang RB. To start with, let's remember these things. Verb is an action word in a sentence, and we will be discussing the types, which are the regular and irregular verbs. Also, the tenses of the verb. And remember that the tense is the time that a verb shows. The most common tenses are the past tense, present tense, and future tense. But actually, there's a lot of tenses of the verb. There's 12 or sometimes they make it 16. But today we'll be focusing on these three on. The first tense is the past tense. So past tense is used to describe things that have already happened. There are some indicators like the words earlier in the day, yesterday, last week, 3 years ago, etc. Let's take a look at this image and make an example. We can say he listened from his headphone yesterday. So at this point, we can see that there's the word yesterday, right? So yesterday is an indication that it happened already. It's already in the past tense. However, we can also take note of the word or the verb listened. Okay, so it has an ed. So past tense usually has a d or ed after the verb, or it is being added to the main verb or base form. Let's now have the second tense, which is the present tense. This is used to describe things that are happening right now or things that are continuous. Sometimes it uses indicator words like today and now. However, it's not all the time. So how would we know if it's a present tense? So let's take a look at these examples. We can still use the same image. We can have these sentences. First, he listens from his headphone. So notice the verb listens. Alright? So it has an S. So from the base form, which is listen, we added S because it is in the singular form. So we know that it is in the present tense when it is in the base form without S, or it has an S, which is a singular form. We also can have the verb to be, which is, and if you are using verb to be, you will be adding ing to the main verb or to the base form. So we can say he is listening from his headphone. So we'll be also discussing the verb to be on the next slides. Let's have the third tense, which is the future tense. Future tense describes things that have yet to happen, and it has indicators like later, tomorrow, next week, next year, 3 years from now, and so on. And also has the modals will and shall with its verb. Let's take a look at this example to understand better. So we can say he will listen again from his headphone tomorrow. So if you can notice, you have the word tomorrow as your indicator. So we know that it is in the future tense. However, whenever you cannot see an indicator from the verb, we can see the modal will. So that indicates that it is in the future tense because future tenses usually use will and shall. We can also use the verb to be in the present and past by adding ing or ing to the verb. This chart will help us understand better. In the present tense, we have these verbs to be, am, is, are. And in the past tense, we have was and were. Am is used for the pronoun I, and is used for singular subjects, and this is the singular form of the verb. And for the plural form, it is on. For was, we usually use that for singular subjects. The verb would be was, and in the past tense, of course. For were, we use that for plural subjects, and this is the verb form in the plural past tense, plural past tense. Here are some examples. I'm talking to her friends. That is in the present tense. So notice that we have used am and then we added ing to the base form of the verb, which is talk. So that's why we have am talking. For the past tense, we can have I was talking to her friends. So we use the verb to be, which is was in the past tense, and we added ing or ing to the verb talk, or to the base form of the verb, which is talk. So I was talking to her friends. Let's have the first type of verb, which is the regular verbs. On the past tense, we usually add be or ed. On the present tense, we add s, es, or ing when we are using the verb to be, just like we just have discussed on the previous slide. And in the future tense, we add will or shall. So here's another chart so that we can learn it better. The base form example is walk. So in the past tense, we can say she walked fast yesterday. So notice that we added ed on the base form, which is walk. On the present tense, we can just add s, so we can say she walks fast. On the future tense, she will walk faster the next day. So we added will. How about when we say help? The base form is help. So we can have this example. I helped my mom last week. So that is in the past tense, and then for the present, we can just say I helped my mom today. So you could see that there's no s anymore because I usually get a plural verb, okay? And then in the future, we can say I will help my mom again. However, when you have another subject instead of I and the present tense, you can just add s, okay? Example, she helps my mom today, okay? So another example, and the base form is camp. So in the past tense, we can say we camped near the lake. And present tense, we can also use the verb to be, so we can say we are camping near the lake. In future tense, we can use shall instead of will. We shall camp by the lake or near the lake. So yeah, that's it. So just remember all these rules for the regular verbs. They are easy to remember, right? So let's go along. Now here's the list of examples of regular verbs. So notice that in the past tense, we have added d or ed. Alright, so whether you have a singular subject or plural subject, you have this past tense. You just add d or ed on the base form. However, in the present tense, we have the base form and we just add s if your subject is singular, and if your subject is plural, you don't need to add s. For the future tense, we have also the base form. However, we just add will and shall. It depends on your subject. So here's another list of regular verbs, and you can always get back to this video whenever you need it. And of course, if you forget some of those things that we have discussed in this video. Let's now have the second type of verbs, which is irregular verbs. However, on this part, these verbs do not change their spelling. So let's take a look. If we have the base form put, the past tense is still is put, and the present is put. However, we just add s if it's a singular subject, and then the future tense will also have put, but we have to just add the verb to be, which is will. Or we usually call will as a helping verb or a verb to be. Alright, so an example of put and the past tense, we can say she put her purse down. On the present tense, she puts her purse down. and in the future, she will put her first step. Okay, so remember how we usually change them into past, present, and future tense. However, um, the spelling for some irregular verbs do not change. We just have to like add s, especially when you are dealing with singular verb. I mean, yeah, singular verb has an s, and then of course it usually has a singular subject. For your reference, you can have this list of irregular verbs that do not change their spelling. So you can always get back to this video to check and take a look. So it includes shot, split, spread, hurt, burst, read, bet, cost, cut, fit, hit, let, and put. On the other hand, we also have irregular verbs that change their spelling. So let's take a look at some of them. We can have write. Write, the past tense of write is wrote. So we can say I wrote a letter last night. In the present tense, we can say I write a letter today. And in the future, we can just add shall or will. So we can say I shall write a letter later, or I will write a letter later. Okay? So that is one example of an irregular verb that changes its spelling. That was quick, right? So remember that you can always get back to my videos whenever you forget something. And it is always easier when you have already subscribed on my channel. So again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wang RB channel. You can also follow me on my Facebook fan page, Teacher Wang RB. As always, thank you for watching. Bye and God bless. See you again in my next video.